encouraging and learn a lot.
My crypto journey has been very eventful, ups and downs, but I've waved the storms and the waves, and I think I believe in crypto, I believe in Bitcoin, and that's why I'm still in the game.
Joined 1 year plus, and it has been a very wonderful journey for me. Thanks.
Thanks to CRP, I've learned so much. I put in perseverance, faith in crypto, and all the coaches inspired me so much, especially Resh. So with his technique, I made my first 1K.
I think I was inspired to get the awards when Resh shared this 6 awards. So that was what I aimed to do. So now I've actually done 5, so I'm looking for the last one.
This is my $1,000 in a single trade. I'm very excited about this. And from $500, I've made $2,000, so 3x. And I'm looking forward to my next win, my next award.
This is my first $1,000 in a trade award. I didn't actually aim for 1,000. My target was only a day, or $200-300 a day, which should be enough for me. But I got more than that, so I'm very happy with this award. More than 1,000 USDT in a day. Now currently the record based on the CRP boards that Jay give, that one the CRP board really helped a lot. When the signal come, you take the trade. Normally 90% of it will be profitable. Only 10% will give you losses. So it's a good margin, right, to have. So I'm very happy.
This is my first time getting the award. I get the double award. Yeah, so actually I don't have a very big account, but this 5-figure award actually double my account this round. So it proved that you not just can long the market, you can also short when the market downturn.
Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the CRP team, all the coaches, for all the learnings that I've obtained in crypto. I feel that I'm now empowered to actually follow the strategies, follow the steps, and to make good money. Thank you so much. I enjoy the community, I enjoy the walks, I enjoy the many opportunities, Zoom links, Zoom calls, as well as live in-person trading. I highly recommend the CRP community, MWA, for crypto trading and learning.
One thing I like about him is that he's confident enough to stand up as an independent candidate, and that's something that I look up to and I respect him.
I think another takeaway is that if you don't have Bitcoin exposure yet, you can do so through other stocks that can do that for you. If you feel that Bitcoin is a bit expensive to buy, you can at least participate and have some exposure through those stocks. Like MetaPlanet, MicroStrategy.
Feeling motivated that Bitcoin will reach 1 million in a few years' time. I will set aside some of my savings to buy at least one.
I felt very happy that I finally managed to win the $1,000 in a trade. This is in buying the spot for Solana. I bought at around 122.02 and I sold half my holdings at 180, so I still have the other remaining half.
I'm very happy and grateful that I collected my first ever award from MWA. of course, I would say it's the easiest among all because you won't feel any pressure when you're just putting in a dollar. Like you have to put $10,000 just to win the other awards, like 1,000 in the USDT in the trade, $10,000 USDT in the trade. So to get this award right, basically anyone can get it. It's very achievable.
Something that I take away from all the coaches is that, especially Rash, even if you fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. So although I waited very long to get these awards, but still happy that I can still get up.
Funder, right, is actually nothing new. It's what we call a prop firm platform that is used to be available in many other assets. And then Bitfunder is the one that focuses in crypto trading. How it benefits our students is because this basically is a platform that provides you the funds to trade with, which you can trade, make profit, and take your share of profits, right? So for people who are not comfortable or ready to invest big sum of real cash of their own pocket, it helps for them to leverage other people's funds so that with a small funds they're paying, they get to receive a challenge account that they can use for trading and generate profits and get their shares in it.
Okay, so the CEO came today. So one of the things that I like about is his journey. Like he used to from Forex, then after that how he started the prop firm. I think his mission is to teach people how to trade properly, which is good. And of course Carlos sharing of how he actually plays a trade, whereby he shared that he only trade Bitcoin most of the time, is something new to me lah. Yeah, so that is something that I will also be looking at. Trade more Bitcoins than the altcoins, which quite sort of align with what I plan to do as well.
One thing I like about Bitfunder is that I must give credit to Bernard, because besides introducing us to this account, he also teach us how to trade using Bitfunder and what are the rules to observe so as not to burst the account. So that's one thing I think many of the members really appreciate Bernard for that. And I think it's a good cause that MWA did bring in for the student.
Bitfunder is being introduced to me by MWA, of which I was very, very grateful and thankful. Yeah, and with Bitfunder, I think I can go a much further way and make a lot more money and learn careful trading instead of reckless trading, and that's a good thing.
Hey guys, we just wrapped our event with Bitfunder, one of the world's leading crypto prop firms, and the idea is very, very simple. We fund you, you trade. Minimal downside to you and unlimited upside in terms of profits for you as well. Again, check us out, Modern Wealth Academy and Bitfunder.
Hi everyone, let's welcome Coach Fang Ying. Coach Fang Ying, over to you.
Good evening everyone, welcome to our Friday AMA session. All right, if you can hear me and see me clearly, please type something in the chat box. Say hi. Oh, hi, I always see you here. Good evening. And I also need to be reminded there will be a lag in the live streaming. All right. So, okay. Hi. Malini. Good evening. Okay. Great. All right. Since y'all all can see me, and also I guess you can see my screen. All right. Let's get started. Okay, so as y'all know, before we move on to the open to question session, I would like to just go through the market a bit with you guys, right? So let's do a quick review on the market, right? So for the past week, right? As you all know, right? We always say, in crypto world, we always call October and October because generally, if you look at the history performance of especially Bitcoin, right? Usually October will end up with a double-digit green, right? That means the up movement of Bitcoin, right? But for this month, ever since the 11th of October crash, the market did not recover as everybody been anticipating, obviously, right? So as you can see, after the crash, subsequent days, it did not bounce back, right? Across not only Bitcoin, also many other coins, right? So generally, we kind of enter a downtrend and stay there, right? And for the past 2 weeks, right, we can see many coins, try to recover, and then the key support line did hold for a while, right? But at beginning of November, right, the drop continued. Even for Bitcoins, it actually broke down from the key support line, which is 100K, because even if we don't go into details 100K, it is 7,000, 6,000, or 5,000, but that just based on common sense, right? 100K itself is a very strong psychological level, right? And ever since it broke down, right, we actually now is at a new area of price range, which is below 200K and then above 99K. So right now, this is a range we are seeing Bitcoin is moving within. And just now, right, technically the yesterday, right, it was retesting the 105,000 range and then got rejected. So now we need to see whether the 99K range can it hold and then let it bounce, or then if it bounces, then we are still gonna see a small range of upward movement, right, where we can potentially look for some long opportunities. But if later on when it touch the 105,000 range, then be careful, right? Do have patience to see whether we get rejected again, or it can actually show a chance of breaking above, right? So same align with the USDT, because think about them as like a pretty much an opposite relationship, right? So as all the other coins are going down, right, like generally majority of the market, the coins in the market are going down, we can see USDT is holding a very nice uptrend. That means people are constantly selling cryptocurrencies in exchange for fiat money, right? Because these are stable coins. And also you can see if you follow news, right? If you talk about market sentiment, first of all, you can see the fear and greed index is actually at a relatively low range. That means people, especially retail investors, under this situation, we don't expect them to start buying. Usually this is where a lot of people start to take profit or simply become fearful, right? Start to even exit with a loss. And if you follow news, we also know for the past few days, right, a lot of big holders has been selling there are crypto assets, especially in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which generally creating a not so bullish kind of sentiment in the market. Okay, so in terms of the trading direction wise, right, first of all, if you're looking at like within today or next few hours, right, as I said, it basically just sort of like touched the 99K range, right? So now let's see whether later on does it break below or it holds and start to bounce. If it bounce, then within the next few hours or day or two, we can still see a potential recovery of the price movement in the market, right? Then only we just need to wait for the reaction when it touches this range. And if later on the price, instead of bouncing up, if it does break through the 99K range price point, then we need to see what is potentially next support, which you can see from the chart. Generally, a very clear one will be around 90K range, around this area, right? So if it does break down, then then you can start to look. I will look for opportunity to short all the way until Bitcoin find next support and stop basically the waterfall, right? This also kind of align with the trend right now, right? So at least to this area. Okay. Yeah, so for next few days, right, always, as you all know, I always plan the biasness or my direction of trading, right, by judging the entire market sentiment of the USDT as well as the major tokens. Because, I mean, even if you look at total tree, it's basically aligned, right? In fact, total tree, that means all the altcoins performance is slightly worse than Bitcoin, right? Because when people are not expecting an off season to start or even happening, right, then these are the cryptocurrencies they first start to sell. So for total tree, that means altcoins, you can see right now is also basically sitting at a support already, similar to Bitcoin, right? It's around 912 billion, right? So if this one doesn't hold and go down, right, then next support we can see is around this area. So if it doesn't hold here and break below, same thing, there will be a range for it to fall, right? But of course, if it does hold here and bounce back up, then we still have a room for recovery, right? Like this, yeah. So my key support resistance levels has been there for quite a while already, right? Hasn't changed. So yeah, let's see what happens in the next few days, a few hours, a few days, right? Whether does it bounce or continue to drop. Then you can decide your general trading direction, whether is it more bullish, looking for more long opportunities, or bearish, looking for short opportunities. All right, so that's what I see in the market now. Okay. All right, so now you can start to type your questions in the chat box. I'll go through one by one. How about Ethereum? Ethereum is similar, right? It's just that Ethereum, if you're aware that for this particular bull cycle, in terms of the Ethereum performance, is not as strong as everybody being anticipated. Remember, after Bitcoin season, we're talking about money rotating into Ethereum, but even back then, it didn't pump to very high. And then whenever there's a price drop, right, Ethereum and its ecosystem coin actually drop quite a bit more compared to other ecosystem, right? So this time around, if you look at Ethereum alone, you can see actually it kind of already broke down from the key support line, which is about 3.4K, right? So right now it's retesting the support line, right? And current candle is not, this Friday candle is not closed yet, right? Because previously, I mean, if we were to be very, very precise, you can see this is having a little bit of consolidation or struggle, like price a bit struggling here, right? So if this candle actually later really closed red, then it shows that it got rejected by this about 3.4K support line. All right, then same thing, the range we are looking for till next support will be till 2.8K, right? This range. But if later on this candle, because this candle is a daily candle, right? It won't close until 8 a.m. right? So if later on when you wake up at 8:05 and realize it actually closed green, then that means same thing. You are seeing a potential rebound up, right? But this one you can see there's another resistance here. So the room for it to bounce up is slightly tighter compared to Bitcoin and other coins. But same thing, if it does close red, right, then potentially we need to wait until it touch 2.8K to find a stronger support. Until then, I will be on short bias on Ethereum. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's about Ethereum. Okay. Now let's go. Let's go through. Do you have any trade ideas you want to get a second opinion on, or is there any coins you are holding in your portfolio you want to just run through? Okay, no problem. How about Sui? Okay, Sui. Yeah. Okay, Sui, like Sui use, like, I mean, if you're asking about like Sui as a project itself, it is one of the strongest new layer 1 coins for this cycle, right? But to my surprise, right, during the 11th of October crash, the price actually reached a very low price range. But of course, the recent crash, we all know the crash was like, there's many reasons behind such a huge drop in price. But Sui, in terms of the performance after that, right, is like what I said, it's not very, very strong. As you can see, it didn't have a very strong rebound, and then it has been holding and stay in a downtrend ever since. And in fact, it also just broke from one of the key level at around $2.37 to 2.2 cent, $2.2 to $2.4, right? This range, and with a big red candle, now is retesting this range, right? So if we look at this range here, right? If we zoom in a little bit, previously as you can see, actually I have spot a little wedge pattern over here. So now same thing, right? With this chart pattern, right, you can even see it clearer. So there's only two ways for it to go, right? Either if this falling wedge were to really take place, that means price will be breaking down from this lower trend line / support line and go down further, right? Because how a wedge work is like that. All right, so after this key level, if we break down, then same thing, we are seeing them all the way to about at least $1.18 $0.75 here. This range. Right, but if it does not break down, right, same thing. If it bounce up, then we see how it perform when it go back to $2.20. Right, so let's see whether this chart pattern, this price movement will take place or not. What about Solana? Okay, Solana. Yeah. Let's see. Solana already broke, also similar to Ethereum. It has broke down from an uptrend, right? And it just broke down one of the key level, $170 also, right? Now same thing is sitting. The price is sitting around $158, right? So right now, if we were to look at a smaller time frame, right? If I have a similar trend line drew on smaller time frame, you can actually see the price point has actually broke down from the trend line. Because you can still see a support line here, whether the current actually right now the current candle we're looking at, and for this candle, and that means this 4 hours and the next 4 hours is actually quite crucial, because if they close below, right, then it suggests that highly likely this support line is no longer holding, and we see the chance of them going lower, right? But if this one later actually go back up, then we can still expect or hope for a upward movement for at least for the next few days, right? So this current candle, same for Ethereum, same for Solana, right? It's actually quite crucial. What is layer 1 and layer 2? Layer 1 is like, is it the OG coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum? Okay, layer 1 and layer 2 got nothing to do when they came out, right? The time of the coin being created is not, doesn't define whether they are layer 1 or layer 2. Layer 1 or layer 2, if you simply ask ChatGPT or you Google for answer, it simply means like layers, right? In terms of, on the blockchain, right? Layer 1 means this particular project, right, has its own blockchain, right? So Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Sui, right? Sui is actually a newer coin, but it had like newer project, but it is a layer 1 because it has its own blockchain built, right? Layer 2s are something that it will say more like a last bull cycle production or like thing, because last time what layer 2 does is that they are projects that is built on layer 1, right? The reason why there are such projects is because like the OG coins, like for example Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Last time, as a blockchain itself, they are relatively slow, right? So back then, a lot of layer 2s are built as solutions to basically patch on layer 1s to solve those problems. So to provide faster speed, quicker calculation, etc. Right, but also some layer 2s are projects using, simply they just build on layer 1 projects to make use or like utilize the layer 1 blockchain itself. But nowadays you can that's why this cycle, because technology allows, you can actually see many new layer 1's blockchain came out. They are fast in terms of data transmission block transmission speed. They are fast and they are cheap. That's why they don't need the old OG layer 1s like Ethereum, Bitcoin. Then they can stand alone and have their own project or apps built upon them, right? So this is just a short explanation. If you want to know more, which I do suggest if you are really serious about crypto, be it investing or trading, right? Do know more about what are the differences between layer 1s and layer 2s, right? And in fact, as I said, you can always ask ChatGPT. Okay, welcome. Sui breakdown. Let me see. As I said, Sui, you need to wait for this. Okay, let me remove the arrow so we can see the chart. Sui, as in Sui breakdown, is that you are telling me Sui broke down, or you asking me whether Sui break down already? Because apparently it's not broke down yet, right? As I said, this candle, right now we are looking at 4-hour chart, right? The candle won't close until 12. So right now, even you do see at one point the rate is below the line, it doesn't mean it has broken down already, right? In fact, if you look at smaller time frame, you can see, right, it's still sitting above the line, right? So whichever time frame you are looking at, you need to see a candle actually close below, then only we consider it as a breakdown. Okay. So Sui is considered as a new layer 1, right? Yeah, relatively new. The project also start building. You know, like all the project you see nowadays that came out with a coin for you to buy, that have a project, have a website, have a mainnet for you to actually go and read, click, test, right? All the project, they are new. They just came up, yes. But those projects are not new in terms of their history, because behind every project, there's like many, many years of building. But of course, in terms of how long it has existed in the market, yeah, it's considered new. What about AIA? Okay, if you want to go through a particular, like a specific token in particular, just type the token symbol, right? Then if let's say you actually looking to enter a trade, then do let me know not just a token name, but also the time frame you are looking at, then the direction of trading you want to go, let's say long or short. Okay. AIA, oh, looks like a new, is it a newly launched token? That's why, is it just launched on some exchange? That's why it pumped. USD AIA. What project? AIA. The agent AI. The agent. Okay, so AIA is an AI project built on Sui, and there's an airdrop happen. Okay, yeah, so this kind of price surge, like basically, unless you are an investor holding AIA token, right? Otherwise, this is the kind of pump is very hard to catch, right? So now, because it's like a relatively new token, just launched in Binance in September, right? So right now, after it pump, honestly, you cannot, you can't tell whether, could this be the resistance, right? Or can it continue to pump, because there's no reference for you, right? So, but unless if you are like an investor, you hold a coin, or you know what's happening on the project itself, right? Then maybe you can share a bit more. But in terms of trading, when it pump like this, right, doesn't mean of course doesn't guarantee that the price will continue to go up, right? You also don't know whether it can even hold at this high price point. That means for the floor price to increase that high, right? Or will it come down from here, right? Because right now, if you look at this candle, looks like it got rejected from this price point, but same thing, this candle is not closed yet, right? So you can't say for sure that it will come down from here. And even if it does come down, you do not know where is the next support line to support the price. Because if you look at the past, I only have this price point, which is about $3. And for it to come down, right, it's very hard to say, will it come down all the way here or on the way down? It will find a support and then hold it. That means it gives you a new floor price, right? All this, you need data, but for new coins, you don't have that, right? And also there's also a possibility, what if this is not the sky, and this is not the limit yet, sky is the limit, then it can continue to go up, right? All this, we can't tell anything from the chart alone, right? So if this is a kind of token you want to invest in or trade, then do go and study, go check it out. What's the reason behind its pump? What are the project that is, what are the backers, where the money come from, right? How it's gonna run after this. Yeah, so yes, every day there are tokens shooting upwards. That doesn't mean anything if we are trading. Yeah, so today shoot up, but what happened next, we don't know, right? None of us can predict the future. ARB. Yeah, it seems to be at the bottom, no more support below. Oh, is it? Yeah, so if you look at the past data, this is, similar to other token. ARB is like also, you see, previously the price used to touch this low, right, about 25 cents, and then go back up. So yeah, we are sitting at the bottom in a way, right? No more support below wise. If we break down 25, so seems like 25 is like the lowest low based on the history, right? So same thing, like remember just now some of the token I mentioned, if they break down, then there's a next support, right? If ARB break down, then we don't know where's the next support, right? Right now we only have that one data from the previous crash, which is 10 cents, right? Which is really far. So is there a chance that after it break down 25 cents, nobody want to buy ARP and then go all the way there? Maybe, but also, but more likely is we going down to 10 cents, there might be a new support line formed somewhere. But where exactly, we don't know. All right, ARB, if you know, ARB itself is also a coin in Ethereum ecosystem, right? So same for ARB. Even back then when Ethereum pump, right, didn't pump much. So this time around, as I mentioned earlier, Ethereum and its ecosystems token didn't perform as good as everybody expected, right? But now it's very similar to Ethereum, right? It's holding on a downtrend. So if you are a ARB investor, holder, right, or trader simply, right, watch the price reaction to the 25 cent line carefully, right? Because if we break down, right, until a new support form, technically you got no floor holding you. Okay. All right. Okay, that's about ARB. Okay, welcome, Kang Guan. Okay. All right. Does Ondo fake breakout and start to form double top from this morning? Ondo. Ondo fake this morning, Ondo is a token I'm trading, right? Yeah, so Ondo this earlier today had a breakout from the falling wedge. I won't say it's a fake out, like it does break out a bit, right? So this is like, remember just now the chart pattern I was talking about. So two directions or two possibilities for the price to go, right? One is to break above, then then that's why it gives me a long setup. But then after that, when after breakout, when it retests the support line, it didn't hold. So now it went back, fell back to the wedge. Right. So right now, for me, I'm still holding the trade. So need to see whether, like, if it doesn't hold, then obviously it will break further. Then that's the direction. Right. If let's say it doesn't bounce back up, right, then there are two chances. One is it goes down, touch here, and break through. Right. There's also a chance it come down here and bounce back up, and that means test this trend line again. Right. So right now it's in the middle of the price movement. I also can't tell where is it going. But for this particular coin, is one of the trick calls I shared earlier. So I went into long after a breakout from the falling wedge, and also it did a small retest on the upper trend line itself, and then it continued to went up. So I entered because when this particular green candle closed, right, it was, if I were to have a support line based on previous highs, you can see here, right, the candle kind of also closed above my resistance line. That's why I entered along, right? But right after that, it U-turn and come back down. So right now, nothing I can do about it, right? So either I wait for it to retest the lower band, or if anything could happen during this area, right? Because if you look at simply the candle itself, you can find another support around this range. So if it bounce here, then that means it bounce at the midpoint. If it later this green candle doesn't continue, that means it close below, then continue, then the next testing support is here. Then from there we see how long. How about Dash? Dash is also just had the pump. This chart reminds me of FAO. Dash sounds very familiar. What is Dash? Dash. Wait, this is a product. Wait, hold on, not the token. Dash should be this one. Yeah, correct. Dash is from okay, so Dash is a security governance token. Okay. Oh, or DAO token. Okay, Binance ecosystem. Okay, so yeah, also it just broke out, and right now you can see the price is actually consolidating, forming a new support or resistance, right? So previously, after a breakout at the beginning of November, right, then immediately it stopped at this resistance, right? And then followed by another breakout, right? So you can see now the $96 range has become a support line, because after the breakout, it come down, retest, and then actually held above and continue to go up. Yeah, the only thing is right now you can see the price been coming down, forming lower highs, right? So right now you can see it's still on the uptrend, right? So if you are looking to trade Dash, then obviously right now, unless you are like a scalper, right? Otherwise, we obviously don't want to short against the strong movement coins on the uptrend, right? So two ways to play around with it is one, if, I mean, you can see a potential forming of triangle here, right? So same thing, if the price right now you see a bearish side of the chart, right? So if it go down, when it tests here, that's if I want to trade Dash, this is the point I will start to look for setups with this token around $96, right? So because when it touch the support line again, if we hold, then it bounce up, then we can start to wait for a potential breakout, right? For a bigger room or space for profit to at least here and then here. But if it come, that means when it come down here, instead of bouncing, it actually crossed down, right? Then this support line will no longer hold. And by then, with their price point, there's a chance of trend reverse, right? So right now, while the price is right in the middle, nothing at least for me, there's nothing I would do, right? So I'll wait for it to touch here to see the reaction, or simply when it goes here. Okay, and Binance ecosystem. Then also you want to look at Binance itself, because like this during the remember the rotation of the seasons, right? We have the Bitcoin, Ethereum, then Big Cap, right? So during that period, we know that Binance actually moved very strongly, right? It pumped in terms of percentage wise, it's much higher, right? So same thing if it's in a Binance ecosystem, apart from the project's own performance, also you can always also refer to the main narrative, which is Binance, right? Just to double check, so you have a better idea. Okay. All right. Yeah, just on the Dash, yeah, it reminds me of FAO. Right, FAO coin also recently had a very strong breakup. Right, but this one is a bit different. Is because previously FAO, right, Dash previously is already wasn't in a downtrend because it's a relatively new coin, right? But FAO, you can see after the breakout and the price continuing going up, right? You can see the reverse of trend, like potentially reverse of the trend. You can see the trend tending upwards, right? So same thing, right? You can see this one, it has gone up and then retested this previous support, now resistance line, right? So now whether it seems at least previous candle closed as a very bearish candle, right? So now we need to see whether does it continue to go down or go retest the resistance again. If it actually continue to break above, then chances are the trend will turn into uptrend completely. Then by then you will definitely have more confidence, right, to continue longing. And then, yeah, it's not yet. Yeah, but you can see that even with the market being a bit bearish, there are still some really strong projects. Like if you're in the group, you know, last night I was sharing about Nia because I was waiting for it to break up, but it was getting too late and I was really sleepy. So I didn't wait for it. And the actual breakout happened about 3 a.m., which even I don't think I can catch that. And then after that, the retest was a very quick one. So when I wake up, it has already gone too far. So I couldn't get in. But you can see on a shorter time frame after the breakout, it continued. All the retests, everything was done successfully. So now on a smaller time frame, Nia already turned back into uptrend. Just like right now, same thing. It just hit a resistance, right? We need to see whether the bullishness continues or it's gonna do a quick correction first, right? Then on the bigger time frame, 4 hours, right? You can also see the RSI start to cross. So, yeah. Let's see. So just share a few coins I'm personally looking at. So for Nia, right? Remember, you see all the how all the confluence area actually kind of like does confluence, right? Like for example, for Nia, right? Just I mentioned, it was retesting this. It just hit this resistance. So now we need to wait for a retest, and this resistance also happened to align with the 200 MA on 4 hours time frame, right? So does it continue to break above, or it's gonna have a pullback? And then continue to go up, or just continue to break above, right? This is one of the token I'm currently looking at. But of course, if it got rejected, there's more support line for it to retest. So there's more possibilities. Some coins are not dropping and not following the majority, such as FAO. Is it because of their own fundamental news? Yeah, possible. Like not only FAO, right? So like this one here I mentioned, right? So if you happen to see one token that tend to show the price movement that doesn't follow the majority of the market, then these are the tokens I'm more interested in, and then I will usually watch them more closely. That's why these two are in my watch list. Yeah. And also if let's say sometimes you suddenly see a abnormal price movement, right? How I do it is if let's say I see a coin start to pump, right, goes up while everything, like for example, basically you see a coin that shows a green color change instead of red when the entire list is red, right? Then I usually would like to focus on those tokens, but also I want to cross check, right? For example, Nia and FAO, I know they do have like a project and they do have things being built, they do have their strong communities, right? Then while waiting for their price movement to happen, I feel more comfortable, right? But if it's a coin that being pumping when everybody is dumping, but I know this token got nothing backing it. Like for example, I see a token with like I know have no utility, no like a real investor, then most likely it's just being manipulated to do a pump and dump, right, scheme. Then that kind of token I will not focus on, right? Because as I said, every other days, right, when let's say when market is red, you will see one very maybe double digit kind of pumping project, right? But not all of them I will add. Like for example, the other day I saw Mina, right? Mina, like the other day I also see it pump a lot, right? But at least for the last time I checked, Mina doesn't really have a strong project going on or development, so I didn't bother to watch. But yeah, you can see for a certain token that doesn't follow the majority of the market, there's still chance to long. But of course, if you talk about the general market, you can see most of the tokens are showing like a weakening in price movement. So FET also. Okay. Yeah, so like for example, sometimes you see when I go through the list, I see, oh, FET move a lot. FET as an AI project itself actually do have some, project going on, and if the performance is not bad, then maybe I will actually start to watch for trading opportunities in it. So I add it into my watch list. Okay. Maybe not the. Okay. So another one I see. Oh, ICP. Wow, ICP. Yeah, ICP also pumped. Let's see. Okay. And on. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So now I pick another 3 coins to watch. One is FET, and one is ICP. Another one is near, right? So ICP is a bit easier because you can see more reference price point, right? So right now it just got rejected by 8.8. Then I can, but it's holding a very nice uptrend. So compared to just on the near and FET, right, just pumped, right, the trend hasn't turned completely, right? You can see ICP is actually kind of already showing a uptrend move, like more stabilized uptrend, right? So, and also there is a support line, right? So it's easier, right, to watch for the following price action, whether it's gonna go down into retracement zone or it's gonna respect this support line, right? That means I have 2 possibilities, right? Whether it bounce back here and continue to go up, or it retest a bit further before it go back up, right? But at least this token, in terms of weighting or in terms of the reference point, right? This one is more like, I would say, convenient. Okay, so later I can watch a bit more on file FET ICT. Okay, right. Yeah, V loud. Yeah, ICP also pump. Yeah, just pick that up. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, any other points to consider that contribute to their pump? Usually, okay, if it's a project, right, usually it's news, right? If not, news can be a lot of things. Some meme coin, the news could be they did a collaboration, or the mascot suddenly catch a hype. For a project itself, usually, let's say there's some announcement of partnership, or this token itself getting listed in some big centralized exchange. Because especially for new tokens, like maybe at the beginning of this bull cycle, they are only they got listed on DEX first, right? Like Sweet. Then subsequently, every time when it get listed on another centralized exchange, especially the big one like Bybit, Binance, that could lead to price pump. Right. So yeah, mainly is either platform listing or basically a good news, be it a partnership be it they brought in a big investor, and some, let's say for example, some project, right, they secure a deal with some users, depends on what product or what project, what kind of service they provide lah, right? So as long as there's a good news, it could always lead to a price pump, right? Then if it's a layer one, right, sometimes you remember when we talk about layer one project, when it pump, then it's ecosystem. Like for example, when Ethereum pump, we expect all the layer two project built on Ethereum also pump, right? But it could be the other way around also. If let's say one project that is built on this layer one suddenly did very well, it could also also reversely contribute to a pump of the main layer one itself. So all kinds of news. Welcome. Okay, any more questions? If we talk about breakdown, yeah, so remember just now I said some coin you need to still sitting at the support line, right? We are waiting for a confirmation whether the support line is it holding or it broke down already, right? Tau is one of the example that it already, like the previous candle already closed below the support line. So this is like a more solid proof of verified breakdown, right? So, but one thing is for Tau, we can see there's actually a next support line here, right? So whether it only if it continue to go down from here, then we have more room for it to drop here, right? If it bounce from here, there's also a possibility for it to bounce back from here, right? So too soon to tell. But those ones that has not closed below, don't take it as if they already did. Okay, that means don't rush into short also. Just now, which is another one I was talking about, possible breakdown. Say it, no. Sui? Sui. Yeah. So also when it's kind of like stuck in this kind of pattern, right? Then instead of waiting, right, simply you can, if I were to monitor or I'm interested in trading, for example, Sui, right? Then I can simply just set an alert at the top and the bottom of the wedge, and then whichever one it get triggered later, then only I come and take a look. So I don't need to watch it until 12 to see whether it break below or not. No need. Okay, just set an alert and then move on and do other things. John, with ETF launching for Doge in 20 days, do you think it is worth, upcoming, there's many coins are getting ETFs, right? And also ETFs are different amount of themselves also, right? Whether how big the ETF is funded, like who's backing it, anyone is investing who are the big investors of the ETF, right? All those matters, right? But Doge itself, compared to other meme coin, if you ask me, I would say definitely it's way stronger in terms of the investment backing, investor backing, community, and then the market cap itself, right? So whether or not it's worth to invest in its ETF, you ask yourself the same question, whether is it worth to invest in Doge, right? Same thing. You need to do you see this project itself being sustainable or not? But if you look at the price point, obviously it's also at almost a floor price now, right? So because personally I'm not a big fan of meme coin, right? So if you ask me, is it worth investing in meme coin or meme coin ETF? My personal take is no lah, right? But then Doge, having said that, Doge in a meme coin is a bit different from others, right? It's one of the few meme coin that actually made to top 20 market cap, right? Just I'm not a fan of it, but also whether is it worth to invest in depends on your purpose of investment, right? Are you planning to get in so that you can catch a pump when ETF, just launch, right? Enjoy the capital appreciation, or are you a believer in Doge? You see this meme be around for another 3 to 5 years, right? Because now it turned into an ETF, so you need to judge it like how you judge a stock, right? Can it stay? Can it stay in the market? Can it last? Right, all those. James, will we see an off season? Very good question. I mean, we all know we have to see the chart, right? So before end of October, right, we were almost there. I remember it's about 64%, the highest it went, right? And right now, when the whole market crashed, right, then obviously even people are selling off tokens. Obviously, people sell altcoin way more than selling the OGs, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all. So we retraced all the way to 22. So what happened? We don't know, right? Because if you look at the, in terms of the time of the money, the rotation, right? It's really very different from all the past few cycles. So yeah, if it does go back, when altcoin season comes, it will come, right? But till then, will it come? I don't know, right? Let's watch. But one thing you can see is, even though the market is not performing, right? There are a lot of people take profit and leave the market, but you can see from all the coins pumping here and there, there's still investors here staying in the market, right? So it's not like, at least one thing we know is, judging by how the market is doing now, it's not the end, right? But whether it will reverse and go back up all the way to give us a delayed bull run, final spring, let's see. Yeah, painful times for sure, right? Every time you think it's gonna, end and you turn, it pump a bit. That means it down again, right? But yeah, stay hopeful. I mean, if for the project that you are holding in terms of spot, it's really project you see the potential. You never know, right? They could always, perform. Right? So yeah, in a way, this is also a good time, or this sort of pullback or correction, though very huge, very painful. It's really also a good time for you to judge whether this project is it strong, and is it is it here to stay or not. Okay, any more questions? If not, time is 10 o'clock. Okay, it's still early. Yeah, I'll wait for a while. Okay, type your question in the chat box. If no questions, which AI coins to look into? Very good question. We can always, if you want to search for a sector, right? Usually the website I use is also value. So you can go into sector by sector and see, have more like tokens listed in the sector narrative. Yeah, so for example, I were to search, actually no need, it's here. So if I look at, yeah, so you see, as I mentioned, right, so even despite when the whole market is not performing, right, there is actually stronger narratives, stronger project that's still doing well. That's why you see now everything is red, right? But AI, layer 2 and dipping still doing okay. Okay, layer 2 not so well, but dipping and AI is doing okay. And social fi 0.1%, not so. But so how do I search for projects within a sector? I use social value. Right? On the right hand side, you have all the sector movers, mover or no mover, doesn't matter. If I click into AI, right, then this show me the like AI tokens, right? So it's here you can see, if I'm not wrong, they are arranged in, yeah. So for me, I always arrange them in market cap. So I have the from top down, right? The biggest is Tau, and then your AIA, right? Oh, it really jumped quite a bit. Yeah, so now it's in third place. Wow, okay. And then virtual FET, right? So generally, like you see, just on those few tokens, one of the few tokens that has pumped, right, is here, FET. So sometimes you can also look at this and have idea, okay, within this moving sector, within this strong sector that is moving against the market, if you click in, then you can even further look into which are the few projects that perform the best, right? Because sometimes the AI sector moves doesn't necessarily mean every AI project will move, right? There's some that is not doing so well, or generally could be even a dead project, right? It's not gonna perform, right? But previously the hype was AI XBT, right? So today you can see, okay lah, doing anything recovering, but not as strong. Then AI 16Z, right? Also one of the more hype ones. But for me personally, if we talk about investment, I would like to focus on slightly more OG ones or bigger market cap ones. So personally, if it's me who were to look at AI sector, I will focus on Tau, virtual, FET. What coin I used to invest? Right now, I'm not really looking at it, but what coin? It does. I used to do a project deep dive on it. I remember they do actively look for, building partnerships and all. So on and off, there are some good news happening. Right. So yeah. So if you are interested in getting into AI sector's narrative coin, then you can consider go to here and then comb the list and then pick one or two or a few coins from here, then to deep dive further. What are the coins I'm personally looking at now? AI is one of the narrative I focus on. So from this AI, but I don't invest in a lot. So for AI, I think I have like 2 to 3. So just like I mentioned, Tau, virtual. There's another one, I can't remember. Okay, I think there's 2 only at the moment. And then my watch list I just showed you, right? Here. But for me personally, I'm more focused on trading, right? When it comes to crypto. So I'm not so much of an investor being said, right? So for me, all the tokens are more focused on their price movement to trade. Alright, okay. Yeah, social value is really helpful. I think I found it in 2024, like during token 2049, right, at the event. And ever since that, wow, this is like became one of my favorite project, one of my favorite website. I share about it a few times also. Right, because sometimes, when you wake up right early in the morning, for me usually when I start the day of trading, I will do a quick MA, right? So market sentiment check, and then I'll do a fundamental analysis wise. I will actually, that's why I only trade those few tokens I'm familiar with, right? But then when it comes to TA, let's say when you wake up right on the day, generally the whole watch list is like there's a mixture of red or green. You don't know where to start with, right? But if after I do my analysis on the major market trend, I decided, okay, for example, today I'm more on a long bias, then obviously when I go to this, it's it makes my life much easier to pick, okay, which are the tokens I want to look at. So if today I'm a long bias, then I obviously look at the green ones, right? Very faster your thinking or picking process. How to check which coins are giving rewards? Oh, what rewards? You mean airdrops? Or what? What kind of reward you're talking about? Social value. Wow, there's a lot of function in it. I would really suggest you to it's a website, right? There's no damage can be done by simply clicking around, right? So for example, just like you asked me about ETF, right? So apart from those ETF, right? Remember last time how Rash share about Bitcoin ETFs, right? So if let's say if you are interested in getting into ETF, first of course you decide which is the token ETF you want to focus on. So for example, okay, I want to look for Bitcoin ETF. Then when you come here, you can easily go with filter with the filter Bitcoin ETFs, right? And then you can see obviously we want to look for ETF that is backed by strong backers, right? Like BlackRock, Grayscale, right? So it make your choices, selection easier. Then same thing if I want to look for Ethereum ETF, then I can just search for Ethereum, then filter from there. Yeah. Then what? Some of the functions I will only think about when I come across also social value itself as a project itself. It has its token, in case you don't know, and they also do airdrops. Last time I think got one round I shared about participating in their airdrops. Can't remember where. You can always search. Not here. Yeah. Anyway, I can't remember now, but just play around now. I think that time. Wait. Yeah, sometimes you go to the home page, you will, like sometimes like I remember last time when there's a airdrop, right, for their own tokens, there's a huge banner when you click in, so you won't miss it. So if I don't see it now, that means they are not having the activities at the moment. But yeah, I mean, if this is part of I mean, this is one of the tools I use, so every few days a week I will click into it, so if I happen to see any activities, I can participate. Then a watch list wise, I usually don't use that. So there's also some educational content if you are interested, so can play around with it. RSK airdrops. There's a lot of ways to track. Let's say there are, you can search from those airdrop hunters, that kind of account on Twitter, on X, right? So some of those accounts will actually actively share which project just launched and they are doing airdrops. That one will be the easiest, most effortless way. If not, you can also go to like those data analysis website like CoinMarketCap. Then you can search for what are the airdrops happening. Yeah. Not here. Sorry. Where is it? Okay, and another coin drops. Yeah, you can just search. I always use Google somehow because it doesn't. Last time there was go to news. Yeah, so usually I just Google the website I want to. Somehow the internal search function I find it a bit hard to use. I always just Google the website I'm looking at and then plus the airdrop. Then like for example, you see just now the one, right? Then you can see the airdrops happened or happening. If you don't see any, then that means there's nothing happening now. Then look for other source. This is more manual. All right, so if you just find a X account there's plenty, right? Just find one that is active. You just search the account, find the account, and then you just scroll down, right? For the past 1 week, how many times they post, how many airdrop they share, right? You find this frequency, you like it, just follow. But of course, when it comes to airdrop, right, make sure you also do your security check, do your audit check. Don't participate in any airdrops, right? Try to participate in those ones that is backed by like big or strong platform, right? And also make sure those are not fishy website that later got your wallet address and hack into your wallet. Okay. Oh, did I miss any question? That's all right. Okay, I didn't miss any questions. Okay. I see. Somehow by searching externally works better when it comes to this kind of website. I also don't know why. Yeah, so at least you can find the information, but whether is it still going on or is it already like expired, then that's another story. Okay. Okay, that's a quick. What's next support for Solana? Solana. Solana, from here we can see previously the week ended at around 140, which also align with some other low points here. Right, this is the immediate next support. Right, but if we zoom out, look at the daily chart, then the stronger support line will be around 115. Right, so if it depends on how much it falls, right? If it doesn't stop here, which is like, because depends on how strong the drop is. If it's a really, really, really bearish fall, then it highly likely will pierce through here and continue to go down. But if it's already almost at the end of the correction, then the 140, 142 range could hold also. Right, so immediate next support I see here is about 140 plus. And if it doesn't hold, then I see 115 here. Looks like looks like it's going down. Okay, now 2 more hours. Can't say for sure for now. Okay, see how this candle close. Solana. Because if this candle later turn green, then it could just leave a week, just like this also, right? So, okay. All right, any more tokens you want to go through together? If not, we can have can call it a day. And TGIF. Okay, any more questions? Okay, if you no more questions, you can type a good night in the chat box so I know you are ready to go to bed. Hi, Sharon. Okay, welcome. Thanks for coming. Okay, good night, James. Okay, good night. Oh, good night, everyone. Great. Okay, let's all have a early rest tonight. Good night. Thanks, everyone, for coming. All right, but don't worry, today the session is not an end. And let's say you are busy or you can't stay through, right? Next time y'all got a question, just ask in the group chats, right? Same thing. Okay. Oh, Josephine here. Good night. Okay, Kevin. Good night. Okay, Sylvia also. I'll see you guys around. Oh, Kwan. Okay, sure. You can ask. Okay, good night, Pinky. Yeah, Kwan, you can type your question. Don't worry, I'm still here. Okay, Malini, good night. Okay, no worries, you guys can go. See you around. I'll wait for Kwan's question. Bye. Simple one. For those charts coaches put up with breakout, how long is this chart valid? For those chart that we put up with breakout, how long is the chart valid for? I assume we are referring to the ones we post in Discord, is it? Those are be it breakout or up or down, those are major support or resistance we see on the chart. So it validates as long as it haven't got triggered. Like, for example, I think I posted what was the one I posted? Can't remember. Yeah, let me check. Was it ARB? Yeah. So, for example, this is one of the chart I shared last time. I posted two possibilities. One is to long above if it breaks 0.466, right? And you can see that's a major resistance I pick up based on the past price movement, right? It hasn't got challenged yet, so it's still valid. Then another one is 2875. I mentioned, okay, if it break down below, then to short, right? So, yeah, lor. The one, I mean, the moment it got break down, then it's valid, lor. But now, because it has already been broken, then now when it got test again, it could turn into a resistance. Previously, it was a support. Now it's a resistance. So after it broke down, 2875. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so after it break down, then this line is not say invalid, but we need to see what is the next reaction when the price touches it again. So if it goes here and got rejected, then that means this support line has officially turned into a resistance line. Then as a breakdown and retest, I can short again. But if let's say later when it touch the line again and it cross above, then obviously this is no longer valid. Right. So until it's being crossed, right, it's considered valid lah, because the support line is there. Yep. Okay, I hope that answers your question. I see Jen want to play some video, is it? Good night, everyone. Bye, John. Bye, Andrews. Okay. Okay. Kwan, welcome. Good. Good night. Good night. Okay. I think, okay, time is 10:30. Just nice. I think, Jen, if you want to take over. Bye, everyone. Bitfunder, right, is actually nothing new. It's what we call a prop firm platform that is used to be available in many other assets. And then Bitfunder is the one that focuses in crypto trading. How it benefits our students is because this
basically it's a platform that provides you the funds to trade with, which you can trade, make profit, and take your share of profits, right? So for people who are not like comfortable or ready to invest big amount, big sum of like real cash of their own pocket, it helps for them to leverage other people's funds, so that with a small funds they're paying, they get to receive a challenge account that they can use for trading and generate profits and get their shares in it.
Okay, so the CEO came today. So one of the things that I like about is his journey. Like he used to from Forex, then after that how he started the prop firm. I think his mission is in like to teach people how to trade properly, which is good. And of course Carlos sharing of how he actually plays a trade, whereby he shared that he only trade Bitcoin most of the time, is something new to me lah. Yeah, so yeah, that is something that I will also be looking at. Trade more Bitcoins than the altcoins, which quite sort of like align with what I plan to do as well.
One thing I like about Bitfunder is that I must give credit to Bernard, because besides introducing us to this account, he also teach us how to trade using Bitfunder and what are the rules to observe so as not to burst the account. So that's one thing I think many of the members really appreciate Bernard for that. And I think it's a good cause that MWA did bring in for the student.
Bitfunder is being introduced to me by MWA, of which I was very, very grateful and thankful. Yeah, and with Bitfunder, I think I can go a much further way and make a lot more money and learn careful trading instead of reckless trading, and that's a good thing.
Hey guys, we just wrapped our event with Bitfunder, one of the world's leading crypto prop firms. And the idea is very, very simple. We fund you, you trade. Minimal downside to you and unlimited upside in terms of profits for you as well. Again, check us out, Modern Wealth Academy and Bitfunder.